Uh, oh, recording in progress. Should I continue? Yes. Um, I'm excited to be here, and especially with Unidos now. I feel like for me as an artist is one thing to do my performances, but also connecting with the community is really important. Being a Latino myself, I like to try to stay connected to the Latino, Latina, or Latinx community and organizations that support that demographic. So thank you for being here more than anything. um so today what I wanted to do was a writing workshop, and it's for everyone. It's not just for for the quote unquote youth, but it's for everybody, because I feel like we all need to put things on paper once in a while, and sometimes we need to put things on paper that have nothing to do with our work, but that have everything to do with how we feel, you know. And so this is really what it is, right? So what I wanted to do first is, before anything, I wanted to start by doing a spoken word piece. And what I want to do with this piece basically is I want you to let me know anytime that you feel connected to anything that I might be saying. um, I want you to, I don't know how we could do it virtually, but maybe like raise your hand or something, that little raise your hand button, or I, make some noise at home or whatnot. And the reason for this is so that I know that we're connected with something, right? That I know that stories that I have about my upbringing in South Central Los Angeles or in East LA are connected to you as well, right? Um, but before all that, I wanna share a slide that tells you a little bit about who I am. Okay, so this is me. I'm a first generation U.S. everything. I'm the first in my family to be born in the U.S. I'm the first one to speak English. I'm the first one to graduate high school. I'm the first one to go to college. I'm the first one to graduate from college. I'm the first in my family to have a career as opposed to a job. I am a first in my family to be quote unquote a professional. So I am the first. So in my family, there wasn't a path that I was following. I was literally like making the path myself. Um, I'm a hip hop artist. I'm a producer, a video director. I am a university lecturer. I teach at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I am a knucklehead, which means that I'm a kid that basically I grew up I grew up in a very difficult environment, let's just say, and I take pride in saying that I'm a knucklehead because uh, being from the hood, quote unquote, it shouldn't be looked at as a negative thing. It should be looked at as an experience, right? That helps you navigate life in a very different way, right? So what is tough to some people may not be that tough to people like myself who grew up in those environments. So, I'm proud to say that I'm from the hood because it taught me how to mature a lot faster. Um, and I'm also a dream catcher. I love chasing dreams, and I love, catching dreams, like whether it be making music, whether it be collaborating with people, whether it's coming to the Van Wezel Performing Arts Center. As a kid from Los Angeles, as a poor kid at that, Mexican American, to now be have a residency at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Center, you can see how that journey, allows me to have pride in what I do, and allows me to say that, yeah, I could catch dreams, and that's, I can reach for the stars, and I could try to grab them from time to time, even if it's temporarily, right? Um, so that's me in a nutshell. Okay. So now let's get to the fun stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this piece again. The song is called Pieces of Me. Anytime you feel connected to anything that I'm saying, let me know in one way or another. Okay. Here we go. Me, me, me. All right, there it is. I found the note. I'm kidding, folks. Rappers, we don't need to find notes. We just rap. All right, we don't have to find the note. All right, y'all. Here goes. I didn't come from a broken home. Instead, just the opposite. A loving family with problems though, a victim of my surroundings. Our biggest obstacle was lack of education and poverty, forced to do what was needed for a bit of food insecurity. It's hard to see the warmth of my family's love turned into a cold hug because the money problem's unresolved. Two jobs ain't enough. Still, they grind harder than most. I'm pissed off at the world because we're now given no choice. But how did we get here? See, our folks were forced out of their country. You must be crazy. No one crosses a desert because they want to. It's a necessity, a sacrifice for the family. So you don't call them illegals, you call them economic refugees. In this part of the song, I will tell you, imagine how you felt. But I know you don't need to imagine. Because if you've been poor, then you know the feeling real till you've been vivid. Because you felt it, tasted, it's melted. In other words, you've also lived it. I turned my head away from anger because it would have been easy to pick up the pistol and bang on the ones I thought were responsible. Instead, I dreamt in Spanish and stared at my hands. I saw the color of my skin, reminding me the days my grandpa said, Mijo, la cultura cura y la sangre indígena es pura. I stopped talking and suddenly I heard the whispers in the city. I share your pain, they said. We also want to be free. So instead of throwing up signs or throwing rocks at buildings, I threw my fist in the air and joined the rest of the children. I could not turn the other cheek because it's easy to forget, but it is hardest to regret. See, I'm not a gangster, I don't bang. I'm not a hustler, I don't slang, but a ghetto kid. That's the reason for my swagger and my slang. I'm not dying for the block, see, I don't own nothing there, but for my people, I'll give my life and work until we win the fight. Hey, that's it. Yes. Um, Luz, Cynthia, I was actually wondering if it'd be possible for you all to tell me a little bit about Unidos and maybe some of the folks who are participating, if you can share a little bit about who you are before I just start, going off on my thing. I want to be able to feel connected a little bit more. This virtual world doesn't allow us to do that often, so at least we can share a little bit about who we are.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to meet you, Olmeca. I think you are remarkable. I just love the way you tell your story, and we can identify with so many pieces of it. Unidos now is a non-for-profit organization that was founded 10 years ago in response to the growing Hispanic Latino community in the Sarasota and Manatee region. We have narrowed our focus on education, particularly preparing students from elementary, middle school, and high school to build a post-secondary path. Our tagline is educate, elevate, integrate. And our slogan is dream big. And the reason why you have all these students is because they have the ability to dream big, and we give them all the tools that we can to empower them to achieve their goals. So I'm going to stop right here. It's an honor to meet you, and I'm going to let the other team members to introduce themselves and also the students.
All right, thank you, Luz.
Hi, Olmeca. I'm Cynthia Enestar. I'm the program director, and it's truly an honor to be here with you. Our students are eager to be inspired by people like you. They relate to your story, in different ways. There's something that in what you just said that I'm sure resonates with each and every one of our students. And that's what we're looking for, for inspiration, for role models to show our students that it's okay, it's possible to dream big, and that they can succeed just like anybody else.
Thank you.
I guess I'll go next. My name is Alexandra De Martino. I'm the education coordinator at Unidos now. We have some really wonderful students who, as Cynthia so eloquently put, are really gonna connect and feel seen by what you have to say. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Word. Thank you.
Hello, and I am Lisbeth Skovilka. I am the Family Engagement Director, and I oversee the elementary and middle school program. And definitely in addition of what the other team members said, so we are trying to find ways to help our students and our parents to express and to share their stories and make their voice heard. And I think that art, and there are different ways that we would like to promote this way and empower them to tell their stories. And I think that you are an example, a really great example of what our students and our parents also can accomplish. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. How about some of the students? Maybe, you know, if y'all want to introduce yourselves, let me know who you are, what you do, all that.
Can you guys hear me, Ro? All right. So I am Javier Montoya. I am one of the scholars for Unidos now. And in high school, this program I didn't really know about this program in the beginning, but my doctor showed me like this should be a program that you should join. So I did join it. And it basically, Unidos now did open the doorways for me to, it gave me that push to find out what I want for my future and what I want to desire. So also it's an honor to meet you, Olmeca. To be honest, I didn't really know about you. No offense in any way.
And that's all good.
But it's a great opportunity to meet someone new. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Anyone else? Not everyone has to go. You know what? We're gonna have time to know each other, but maybe another person wants to go. That'd be cool.
Hi, my name is Patricia Burry. I don't know what to say. I'm a rising sophomore at Pineview School in Osprey. And yeah, this is my first year here. My mom actually heard about this program from a friend of hers who I think her son graduated from the program, and it helped him like in the whole college application process, and she thought it would be like very beneficial. Anyways, it's really cool to meet you. And yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Patricia. That was cool. You see, you shared more than you thought you were gonna share, so there you go. All right, folks. So I have a workshop, or like a creative writing workshop that I want to do. But like listening to Luz and to Cynthia especially, you know, this is about helping you find your own voice. So I'm gonna give you all options. So we have the creative writing workshop that we can do, and or we can literally go back and forth, Q&A, and we can talk about what it's like for somebody like me to now have a music career, or to, you know, to be a university lecturer, to be a resident artist and scholar, uh, to be a Kennedy Center Artist Fellow. You know, like all of these quote unquote accolades that I have. I look like you, right? Like literally, we're the same people right now. So like we can have that conversation where like we just kind of go trials and tribulations, and we get to a point where like I can at least give you a couple of suggestions, tips, and pointers about how to move in the world. Or we could do the straight writing workshop. So what do y'all think? What do you think is going to be most beneficial to you all?
I personally really like the Q&A idea.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think the Q&A idea would be beneficial, more beneficial to me, at least, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
like
that they
the
both
idea.
sound really
Oh, sorry.
interesting. Oh, I'm sorry.
I like the idea of a creative writing workshop because I actually like writing, but it's really hard for me sometimes to like get direction. So yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's do this. What I'll do with the workshop is I'll cut it short because it could go long. So we'll do the initial part at least, so we can have something, and actually that'll help us get into the other part, which we could do more Q&A. Does that sound cool? That way we can get both. You know what I mean? Okay. So let me do that real quick. All right. So, um, one of the beautiful things about writing and writing stories is that you don't you don't have to worry about probably the most important thing and probably the thing that gives us the most anxiety, which is number one, is it right or is it wrong? And number two, does anyone care? So, to those questions, I always say this. Number one, when you write about your own stories, your own perspectives, there's no right or wrong answer. It's literally your thoughts. And your thoughts could be absolutely 100% correct in the world of facts, or it could just be an opinion. But nevertheless, they're not wrong because they're your thoughts. It's your story. And the second thing about the anxiety of like, does anyone care, which is something that us as writers always go through, is that uh, someone cares about it, predominantly me, because I'm writing about it. And so that for me is enough. It's enough because it's therapeutic. It's enough because I know that there's only one Olmeca in the world, and I know that it's a story that people may be interested in. I can't guarantee that they will be, but they may be interested. I want to give the world at least an opportunity to make a choice for themselves. And if they don't like it, if people don't respond to it, it could just be the way that I'm writing it, or it could be really that they don't care. But either way, it matters to me because I wrote it, it's my story, and it's again therapeutic for me, right? So those are like some of the things that I always have in my head when I'm writing stories, when I'm writing songs, when I'm writing the music for my lyrics. It's like, can you imagine? Even when I do videos, it's like, damn, if I had to go through it, though, every single thing that I did, if I had to go through that process of like, does anyone care? It'd be like I would shut myself down right away. Like, does anyone care about my lyrics? Does anyone care about my music? Does anyone care about my videos? Does anyone care about my visuals? It's like too much. So at some point, I just go like, it's for me. It's therapeutic. It's for me. And if people connect to it, even better. So that's my approach to writing. Okay. So the first thing that I want you to do right now, in that spirit, right, and in that vein of what I just said, is I want you to literally take 3 minutes, okay? And these are writing exercises. Now, J. Cole, he does this every day. For 7 minutes, he just writes lyrics, and after 7 minutes, he just stops. So what we're gonna do right now is we're not gonna take 7 minutes. We'll just take 3 minutes, okay? And on your notebook, on your laptop, on your iPad, on your phone, whatever you can write, I want you to literally write that, right? In general, I like to know who you are. Don't just think about what you do or what you like, but also think about your passions, your goals, your dreams, right? How well do you know yourself? So keep in mind when I'm asking you about yourself, when people ask you like, who are you? For the most part, we always say like the things that we do, right? But the things that we do aren't necessarily who we are. In some cases, they are. Like for me, if I say I'm a hip hop artist, like that's who I am. That like I live and breathe hip hop artistry. Every day I wake up thinking about this. It defines me, right? That's who I am. So as you're talking about this stuff, like if like say if you're a student, right? Okay, that's part of who you are, right? But that's a temporary identity as far as it being like in the institutions. But just try to think more deeply about who you are. And when I say that, think about your passions and your goals. Like what are your goals for the future, right? What do you envision for yourself in the future? Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and take 2 minutes. Are you all ready? Cynthia, are you ready? Alex,
Ready.
Patty, Javier, everybody, y'all ready? Candice from the Van Weasel Performing Arts Center, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this, okay? 2 minutes begin now. Come on, Laura. Write it. Who are you? All right, you got 10 seconds. Finish your last thought. All right, folks. That's time. Now, who's going to be the first brave soul to share with us what they wrote? Will it be Nicole? Will it be Alex? Would it be Lucero? Camila? Who would it be?
I could go.
All right, go for it.
So I put, who am I? A question I still ask myself. I'm always trying to figure out who I am and who I want to be, but in my heart, I want to be able to help others. And music is something that will forever be a part of me, no matter what. And I just want to become the best version of myself.
Wow, it's beautiful. Now, who was that said that? Cynthia or Nicole?
Nicole.
Nicole. All right, Nicole. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. That's deep. And it's funny that a lot of times we find our identity in others. So it's like we help other people, it makes us who we are. And honestly, that's very common in like honestly, like folks of color, like in our communities. It's always being of service to others. It's always like about like how we're gonna support other people, how we're gonna support our family. I go to school because I want to support my family. You ask like any Latino kid, like or really like any like person of color, like how do why are you going to school or something like that? Because I don't want my parents to struggle anymore, because I want to buy my mom a house. Like you hear that constantly. And so it's very much kind of like in our DNA to be of service to others. So Nicole, that was like that was a prime example of that. So thank you for that again. Okay. Who else would like to go?
Hi, my name's Chloe. I'm a rising junior at school, and yes, my life right now is school. It's getting good grades, it's doing all that, but truly, I just love the feeling of like succeeding. That's what's there for me. My passion is art. I'm a painter. I love oil painting, and I do weightlifting. It's the feeling of getting stronger. It's the feeling of knowing I'm learning more at school. It's the feeling of finishing that painting, knowing I'm learning more about painting. And I want to turn that passion for painting into something more of a future for me. Like I want to go into the medical field, and I would like to go into cosmetic dermatology. I want to make people feel good about themselves through the art of dermatology and even plastic surgery, just to give them that confidence to know that they are enough themselves, and turn my passion into something that will also help other people. So thank you.
Yeah, shoot. Thank you, girl. Yo, what are you a junior? You want me to tell you what I was thinking about when I was a junior? Number one, I was a boy, so it was like sports, football, basketball, and it's like, oh, that girl's cute, and it's like, oh, I want to rap forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not have it together like the way you did. So congratulations and thank you for existing, because that is beautiful. Yes. All right, who is next? Oh, are we doing that whole thing where it's like I'm shy, but I really want to say something, but I'm gonna just wait for everybody else? All
I
right,
could
Laura.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you can go if you want.
Okay, I'll
Go
go.
ahead.
Okay. So hi, I'm Laura. I'm Laura Martinez, a 17-year-old from Popayán, Colombia. I have lived in Sarasota for 5 years. I would consider myself to be a very caring and selfless person. I always put others before myself. This is the reason why a career in international relations would serve me, to learn stories internationally and help in making global relationships. My passion is dance, ballroom dance. It reminds me of my country, of my family.
Word. Thank you, Laura. Unidos, I don't know what y'all are doing with your youth, but damn, like it's on another level right now. I'm blown away right now. Okay. Ballroom dancing and like international relations with a cosmetic dermatologist who's probably gonna end up in Rodeo Drive somewhere, Chloe. That's probably where you're gonna end up, girl.
Hi.
Proper. Everybody's amazing right now. Okay, who else would like to share? Emmeline, would you like to share?
I can go.
Javier? I
I'll
go
go.
for it.
I'm Javier Montoya. I'm currently a college student. Grades are everything to me at this point. Um, one of my hobbies is weightlifting. That pursuit for strength, pursuit for improvement. That's another one of my goals in life right now. And after I'm done with college, I want to maybe join some law enforcement to serve the community. I know that sounds generic, but I want to protect those who can't protect themselves and also feel good about it when I'm on the road. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Javier. Yo, man, if you wanna protect those who can't protect themselves, you might wanna apply to Unidos, for a position there or something. Thank you, Javier, so much for sharing. All right, who else would like to share? Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, that way we have time to dialogue a little bit.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Oh, sorry. Can I share something?
absolutely, go for it.
So this is, I'm a lost woman trying to find direction. Lost not in physical things, but dreams, fear. Uncertainty scares me, anxiety consumes me. I swear, I wish it could all go away, but this is my place, my comfort space. Even though I know I should run away, it feels like in a cage, but it makes me feel safe. Something like that. Just
Damn, that's beautiful. How do you pronounce your name again?
Emily.
Emily. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. You're obviously a writer and you're obviously passionate about it. So I'm hoping that this is going to help you kind of further get to your goals. And I'm hoping that you could be a writer so that one day we can read your books and watch the movie based on your books. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Well, let's move on to the next one
Oh,
so that
okay.
we could keep it moving. Y'all have an opportunity to share again. Trust me. Okay. So this is the next writing prompt here. So I want I want to tell the world, right? This is your opportunity to speak to the world. You have everyone's attention. You only have a few minutes to write down your thoughts. What are you going to say? I know, well, I don't know because neither of y'all are on point, but I have the assumption that for the most part, people like young people never have the opportunity to speak to the world because no one ever asked them, like, what would you say? And that's really because grown-ups believe that we have the answers for everything. And so then we never need the voice of the youth to really tell us what the world could be like. So this is your opportunity to tell the world something. Whatever ills you see in the world, in our society, whatever dreams you might have that you feel are going to be beneficial to everyone, this is literally your opportunity to say that. It's like you have like the presidential platform right now and everybody's paying attention to you. Okay? But now there's a there's a catch to this. You only have a little bit of time to really write what you want to write. And the reason why is because if you're going to speak to the world, it means that you already have something to say. It's not like, let me see what I'm going to say. It's like, nah, I got something already that I've been wanting to tell people that I haven't had the chance to. So the catch is, I'm only going to give you 1 minute to write these things down. And after that, we'll see how we're going to change the world. Okay? So y'all ready? We're going to go ahead and get started. And now. All right, Cynthia. I'm looking at you too, Cynthia. I want to see what you got to tell the world. All right, that's time. Raise your hand if you need more time. Okay. Chloe, you need more time? Good. Okay. All right, another 30 seconds, folks. Let's go. Okay, folks. That is time. Okay. What would you like to tell the world? Can we get somebody who has not spoken yet to let us know what they would say?
I go, since you told me that you were looking at me. Now I feel the pressure to say something. Okay, what I would say is believe in yourself, embrace challenges, learn from every experience, keep moving forward. I'm here for you.
Wow. Hey, that's beautiful. Thank you, Cynthia. Well, okay, thank you so much. All right, anybody else? Anyone. Even if you've spoken already, you can share again.
Come on, don't be shy. I know that you want to share.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
Okay. So, I don't want people to be divided by color, that because we are of one color or the other, we don't belong in one country. I want undocumented people to be heard. I want to hear their stories. I hope to have their voices heard.
That's beautiful. And who was that spoke?
Dulce.
Dulce. All right, thank you, Dulce. Yeah, how did that feel, Dulce, when you said that? Where'd she go? Dulce, are you still there, Dulce?
She's on mute.
Oh, hello. Sorry, my connection is really bad.
Oh, it's all good. Did you hear what I asked or no?
No.
Oh, I was just asking you, how did that feel when you said that right now?
I don't know. It's, I guess, not motivational, but like emotional, I could say, because there's a lot of people who go through a lot and not many of their like voices are heard and like are underrepresented. There we go.
Word. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so the reason why I ask you that is because, one thing is to say something and another thing is to invoke an emotion. So it's like when we write or when we think about these things, it's like it's not really about what emotion do you want to invoke. That's an artist, like an artist will say that, like, what emotion do I want to like, project, or what emotion do I want to invoke in people. But other times when we write something, it's not even about that. It's about like honest. Like, can I be really honest right now? And if it's about, talking about undocumented people not being seen, if I'm mad about that, if I'm pissed about it, then I'm gonna say it that way. And you're gonna invoke an emotion on people based on your honesty. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, if it's two different things. One thing is like to guide it. Oh, I want people to feel this way. And another one is like to make people feel what you feel. And I think that when you do it the second way, like when you want people to feel what you feel, that's like the most honest. That's like those are the artists that you hear for a really long time. Like the Kendrick Lamars of the world, the I don't know, like the Nina Simone's of the world. They're just forever artists. Just because what they said was honest. Think about an argument that you've had with people, or like a conversation you had with people. It's like, you know, you're upset at like your brother or your sister or something like that, and it's like a year later they remind you, hey, remember that one time when you were yelling at me or something like that, and they're expecting an apology. You could say something like, well, look, I'll apologize for how I made you feel, but I'm not going to apologize for how I felt. Does that make sense? And so when you take that to like the world, it's the same thing. If we're fighting against injustices, it's like, no, I'm not going to refrain from being upset in order for you to listen to me. It's more the other way. It's like you have to find something within yourself to be able to listen to me, because I'm the one that's being uh uh hurt, or I'm the one that's being affected by the injustices. And so of course I'm going to feel angry about it. It should never be the job of the person who is being afflicted or affected by something to then figure out a way to talk to people about how we feel. That's unfair. It's like blaming the victim almost. And so when you write, you got to just be honest. Like that's straight up. Like there is no other way around it. My music has lived in the hearts of people for a long time, because that's the only way I know how to write. I could only write honestly. I never write a song thinking like, oh, this song's gonna be about love, and this song's gonna be about like, I don't do that. I can't do that. Maybe I should. I don't know. But I feel really good once I finish writing that song. Again, if you remember, when I write, it's therapeutic. So I put it down, I put it on paper, I put it on record. It's done. I feel good. I move on to the next one. You know, that's to me, that's speaking from the heart space has always been more important than anything else. So thank you all for sharing. All right, let's go ahead and do one more.
Can I go?
Is it? Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Open your eyes. Please, just open your eyes. Everywhere you see, people are struggling, suffering, and you turn the other way. What?
I'm not sure, Patty. If you wouldn't mind starting again, and everyone else, if you can mute yourselves, thank you.
It's fine. Open your eyes. Please, just open your eyes. Everywhere you see, people are struggling, suffering, and you turn the other way. How could you? It doesn't affect you, so it must not affect other people, right? Right? Look past your phone and your pocketbook to your neighbor, your colleagues, your friends. Approach life with an open mind and approach others in the same way. Above all, be kind. There's always someone out there who loves you, so why not be that person for someone else?
Hey, that's what's up. Y'all got, man, I'm gonna move to Sarasota and I'm gonna just hang out with Unidos, and I'm gonna just learn. I'm gonna just learn. That's all I'm gonna do. That's beautiful. Thank you all so much for that. So, Patty, don't unmute yourself just yet, or don't mute yourself just yet. So, how do you feel about writing that? What is the emotion behind what you just wrote?
I don't know. It was a lot of frantic typing.
Yeah.
Kind of like this weary frustration, you know, like you see all this stuff happening in the world and you think like, why? Like, are we really like, is that the level we're going to stoop down to now? Like, I don't know, you turn on the news every day, it's a new disaster, and you just kind of think, when does it end?
Yeah. Okay, so that's good, right? Because you said it was like a lot of frantic writing. And so think about it. I'm asking you to write it. You're gonna write something to the world, and it's like, oh, like I gotta write quick. And this is what you chose to write about. And so there is frustration in your heart because of the things that you see in the world, and that's okay. It's okay to carry that with you, but it's also important for us to do something about it, and I'm sure you already are, because obviously you're speaking to the world. You're kind of letting the people know, like, yo, do what I do. Like this is what we do over here. Like at Unidos, or me, Patty, at my house, like this is what we do. We care about people. How come y'all are not doing the same thing for each other? That's the point of frustration, and that's legitimate. That's the thing about it. It's like your frustration is hella legit. And so, yes, frantic writing. We're about to talk to the president of the United States. You got 2 minutes to write. This is what I'm going to tell you. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're not telling them to get a job. Like, yo, hook me up with the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, you're like, you need to get your things together. You need to get your morals in order. You know, you need to get your heart right because people are being hurt every day. So that's dope. That's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Hmm. Word. Anybody else want to share?
I
Should I
can
move on to
share.
the,
Oh,
oh, go
sorry.
ahead. No, you good, Laura. Go ahead. Thank you.
I would like to share something that
Okay, we'll go Laura and then Emmeline.
Okay, so I want to be straight up. Life is a complex journey. Never forget to be yourself. Yes, maybe you don't know who you are, but explore what you love. Remember that everyone is going through something and you're not alone. Don't waste time being others. Spend your time loving others. Be mindful of spending time by yourself, love yourself, care for yourself, and have fun by yourself.
What on earth are you all eating? Y'all are in high school right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. I'm walking away.
Come back.
What school are y'all going to? What you guys have no idea like how, I do these workshops everywhere, you know what I mean? And let me just tell you, it's a special moment for me right now. It's great. This is amazing. So thank you, Laura, for that. It's self-love, right? Self-love and self-care is a real thing. And I think if we were to do that more, we would get more of what Patty is asking for if people began by loving themselves more. So it's like an equation, you know? It's like, let's listen to Laura first. World, stop. Listen to what Laura has to say right now. Boom. And then Patty comes in after and she goes, yeah, if y'all do what Laura was saying, then y'all will stop hating on each other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like an equation. It's beautiful. So thank
Thank
y'all
you.
for that.
Thank you.
Okay, Emmeline.
So this, I don't know if this is cheating because this I didn't write it right now. I did a while ago. And this is more from like someone's perspective, one person's perspective to like the people around that person, no like in general to the world. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
So it says, um, I have to get away from her. She's a bad child. I have to let her go. She's not my.
everybody thinks that, it's strangers, family, friends, it's strangers because they never got to know her. It's strangers because they decided to run away, find a new place to later be replaced because she's a bad away.
You answer the phone. Why would you leave me on red? Why would you trap me inside this mess and then think it's okay? She feels so bad. She wants to cry. She feels it's her fault. She wants to die. She cries every night. She is naive. She's so naive, but she'll survive. Sorry, I just get nervous.
Hey, Emmeline, sorry, but it keeps breaking up. So we're gonna have to come back to you, okay?
Okay.
All right, folks. Yeah, I wish we could have heard what Emmeline was saying, but all right. So at this moment, I wanted just to kind of open it up and just have a conversation. So the one thing that I want you to kind of get out of this conversation, what we just did right now, is like, look, we all have to write. We all have to write things for school, whatever. We're writing text messages to our friends all day. We're writing comments and captions on TikTok and Instagram all day. It's like words are hella important. And so the one thing that I continue to say and I will continue to tell everyone is that when it comes from your heart, there is no wrong or right answer. Well, I would say that there's only right because it feels right to you. Okay. And the more that we write from our heart, the more honest things are going to be. And the more honest you write, the more it's going to get to people's hearts. We use this a lot. We write from here a lot, and our mind could sometimes trick us. Okay? But you know that feeling in your heart when you're like, I shouldn't get on that roller coaster. It just doesn't feel right. That's not your mind. That's your heart. That's your heart and your spirit telling you something. So pay more attention to that. Okay? as artists, for me, I go here first. I go spirit, I go heart, and then I go mind. Okay, this is the last part because it's about the feeling first. Um, so I just want you to take that with you. That not just when creative writing, if you're gonna write, songs or poetry, but even when you're writing your assignments for school, like, always try to speak from the heart. When you're reading something and you don't agree with it, give the teacher what they want, give them the facts that they want, but then also be able to express how you feel about the writing. That's how you move. That's how you move forward. You know what I mean? Um, so yes. So let me kind of like open it up now for a conversation. If y'all have questions, answers, comments, concerns, now is the time. Anyone?
I have a question.
Hmm.
Okay, so when you said like you want to know what I was thinking of when I was 17 or like 15. I was thinking, like you said, I was a boy. I was thinking about sports and this and that. But like, at what point in your life you were like, okay, this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna just
Mm,
go for it. And sometimes it's like with parents, it's like you tell them like, oh, I want to do this.
yeah, I think it was when I was like my first year in college is when I realized, well, I would say this. When I was 18 years old is when I realized that I really wanted to make music for a living. Like I was like, this is what I want to do. Now, I didn't have it all together in the way that you all do, as far as like how you're even just how you articulate what you want to do. I was just on some like I just want to rap and that's it. So I was a knucklehead kid on some like the teachers didn't like me being in their class because I was a troublemaker, but I was always doing the assignments. So they didn't know what to do with me because I was getting good grades, but I was acting a fool in class. Um, I had a scholarship to play football, but I chose not to take it because I wanted to make music. So this is at the time that I'm 18 years old. Um, but it's when I started reading about social justice issues that I realized that music to me was more than just for the aesthetics. And I realized that music for me was just a way to reach people, to do what I really wanted to do, which was to change the world. I wanted to change the world because I didn't like the world that my parents lived in. I didn't like the world that I lived in. And I knew that it was in particular just to me. I knew that it was also my friends were living in the same way. I knew that my dad was working, 12-hour shifts and we couldn't pay rent and I couldn't answer why. I didn't realize why until I started realizing, oh, it's because he's undocumented and it's because they're not paying him what they're supposed to pay him. So he's just working extra hours to make up for the money that he should have gotten already. And so when I started realizing those things, right, you go from trying to be hood, trying to be like gangster towards another little kid like that looks like you to what we say is like, bang on the system, like start talking against the system that's treating your dad like that. And so it just became part of my life. I just realized that there's something wrong with the system that we live under. It's not treating parents or families fairly. It's not treating certain people fairly on the basis of their skin color, on the basis of their gender, on the basis of whether they have documents or not. A piece of paper determines how human you are. To me, was ridiculous. So I just had a conviction about what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And that was like change the world. And the way I was going to do it was through music. And so that just became my life. Mm. Anyone else have another question, comment, or concern? Look at Kitsia is dedicated, y'all. She's in the car right now, like logged in. But you all know about the show on Saturday?
Tell us
Yeah.
about it.
So Saturday we have a show and it's a free show. So I'm here for a week, right? Doing the residency. And a residency is basically once you get to a certain point in your career as an artist, uh, people take note not just of like your music, but they also take note of why you make your music. So I kind of explained to you, the motivation for making my music. So then places like the Van Wezel Performing Arts Center, places like the Kennedy Center, like, huge performing arts centers, what they'll do is they'll get people like me to not just talk to people about the art, but also tell them the motivation behind it. And we'll do things like this, like we'll do workshops. I just did a workshop at the Boys and Girls Club. Yesterday I had dinner with like the investors and like the funders and the board of directors for the Van Wezel Performing Arts Center. Um, so on and so forth, right? So we're just constantly doing stuff because we want to get to a place where we could kind of understand the arts from a much deeper perspective. Not everyone has my perspective about why I make music and with regards to like changing the world or whatnot. Um, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that we want to do something better for our communities. We want our communities to be better, right? And so I've been here for a week doing that stuff. And so on Saturday, it's going to be like the culmination. The Saturday is when we get to celebrate all the work. So we want people from Unidos and all the youth that work with Unidos, we want you to come to the show. It's going to be Saturday. It's going to be at 11 in the morning, and it's going to be free. And it's going to be here at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Center outside in the lawn so that, more people can come. So yeah, bring your family. Like this is the one thing that you can invite whoever you want to come and celebrate. So you guys, all of you are invited to come.
Well,
All
Mecca,
right.
I want to ask you a
Yes.
question. You
See.
just shared how you move in different environments. You are with donors, with people that have money, people that have influence. You are with kids, with young people. Then you are in general with the public. How do you preserve your identity and your uniqueness moving in so many different environments?
Mm. Luz, that's a really good question. And I don't think anyone has ever asked me that before. Um, so I have to kind of think about that. But one thing I will say is that being Mexican American for a long time, or Latinx, or a person of color, or poor, um, we were often made to feel like we didn't belong. And what I started realizing was actually that not only do we belong, but we also have that other part of us that that can contribute. And it doesn't make us, it's not like a deficit minded thinking, but it's more like an asset minded thinking. It's like I come from two cultures where most people grew up in one culture. I actually grew up in two cultures. I grew up with two languages. I grew up understanding the Spanish speaking community as well as the quote unquote American community. And guess what? The American community is not foreign to me because I was raised here as well. So I contributed to the development of the America that we're talking about. My parents, who grew up working and building the economy in the United States, also belong in this country because they do that. We're changing culture, we're changing the dynamics, we're changing the economic structure. Therefore, we got to start taking ownership of the places that we're in, not as an outsider, but very much as a participant who's helping change that America. So that's America for me. So it's like, if people say, "Are you American?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm American. I'm the American that gave you hip hop, the America that gave you Nina Simone, the America that's supporting Unidos." Like that's the America that I'm talking about, and that is my America. But I'm also, when I was at home, I was Mexican. But guess what? Now I'm like a bridge. Like I'm the bridge that allows for these two worlds to communicate and come together. all the youth that are here right now, literally, that's what you are. You're like a bridge. And so I know my value because of that. I know the importance that that has in the world, in a world where we need more communication amongst each other, in a world where we need more unification. I am a bridge by merely my identity. I am already a bridge to two different cultures. And so my job is to now just simply connect them. So I just try to stay true to that. Everywhere I go, I try to stay true to that. Well, yeah, Luz.
No, I was going to tell the students that I'm really proud of them for taking the risk, for being brave. I know it's not easy, especially in an online format. You can't really see so many different things, but this experience is unique, and getting to meet you is really incredible. I wish that you would really move to Sarasota, as you said, hang out with Unidos now more. And also, I can tell you something really good. You don't have to compete with these kids because there is no room for us to compete with them. They are incredible. If I
That's
had
right.
to tell something to the world, I would say give respect to these young women and men because they are not only our right now, they are our future and our leaders of tomorrow. And we are in great hands. So
That's right.
thank you for everything that you've done this afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And if the students want to have a comment or something, a feedback for you, this is the time that they should do it. So please, I want to hear your voices.
I put my Instagram down there, and I know how it is with you. Sometimes they don't want to say things in public, but they will say in private. So y'all feel free to send me a message if y'all want to come out to the show. Holler, like just come through. It's gonna be fun. So my blend of hip hop, man, is like trap music with like Latin American rhythms. It's like you haven't heard it unless you've heard it already on Spotify. For me, unless if you haven't heard it like that, you have not heard this. So please come out. Yeah.